Hi, everybody. Sorry we're late. I had major computer issues. Windows updated right before I tried to log in, and then it wouldn't let me log in at all. So I'll recap what I thought I was saying to you guys in the first place. Glad you guys were here all week. If you haven't checked it out, we've got new content on the website today. Basically, it's a summary of what to do next. We'll talk about that today. Hopefully, I can show you that on the screen here as well in a little bit. But I want to summarize what we talked about. I want us to ask questions if you have any, and make sure you get the secret word as well on the website. This is the last day to get the secret word. If you get all 5, send those to me, and we'll put your name in the hat for the prize. So just I'm gonna go right to Max. I think here I'll set it up. But so I went to a conference with Concourse in March with Andy, and we didn't have a plan to get into the long-term care business at that moment. We were just kind of feeling out what the conference was about. It was about a lot of different things, but all the things that Concourse offers. And we really got kind of attracted to the idea of bringing long-term care back around to North American. They've had a long history. If you guys have heard the story about North American's history with that, that's kind of how it got started back when it got started. And so we're all happy to bring it all back, but we got to know Max with the CLTC team, and what that is the designation that you can get to offer long-term care clients and have that designation behind your name. And so I went ahead after that conference and went ahead right into the classes for that. So I'm working on that now. I'll be taking my test soon, but really kind of feel like I've been drinking from the fire hose when it comes to long-term care stuff since then. It's been like every day for the last 2 months, so it's been good. But I'm gonna introduce you to Max here and let him tell you about that designation, and also the opportunity that we have with a discount through North American for that, and through Concourse for that designation.
Yeah, thanks so much, Eric. Yeah, it's nice to meet everyone. I'm from CLTC, Certification in Long-Term Care. This is a designation that was created in 1999, so it's over 24 years old. We met NAIS through Concourse at the recent conference in March that Eric referenced, and we essentially help insurance agents and advisors have a more adept and competent long-term care conversation with their clients. It's our belief that you don't have to specialize, but you should have the competence to be able to have the conversation well before your client approaches you with something that's happened to them or something that you need to help them with. And so our designation, I'll go ahead and share my screen here. We offer it via Zoom. It's called the CLTC. It goes directly behind your name. So LinkedIn business cards, get that approved with NAIS, but you have a couple options. We do it through Zoom. You can also do your own self-paced study option here, which is our eCLTC. But it basically helps you acquire a powerful set of planning skills to confidently create and funding solutions for clients related to long-term care. We have a 3-step process that we teach you in terms of how to get into the conversation about long-term care. Most advisors and insurance agents that we talk to, that's one of the harder problems, pieces of the conversation is getting it started. Through our designation, you'll learn that. And it basically begins with, is it reasonable that you could live a long life? The client then answers yes or no. If they're reasonable, they'll say yes. And then we get you into the conversation from there. So that's an example of a piece of the conversation you would learn. We then go into a brief bit of product, not a whole lot into the course. We take you through Medicare, Medicaid, why those are not viable options, why long-term care is a solution that needs to be discussed. And then we kind of briefly touch on some planning scenarios and just funding scenarios to help you as the planner, help your client with an appropriate funding source. The total designation itself is 16 hours, which is broken up over 4 4-hour segments, or 4 4-hour days, if you will. We have classes that are live now, which I hope you guys can see this here, that you can enroll in immediately. The 22nd and the 24th are upcoming ones in the next couple weeks. And so our goal is to help provide as many training environments for you as possible. If you have a team of people that want to do the designation with you and set up your own class, you can do so. In NAIS, we're working with that, as well as Concourse. So just a lot going on, and any further questions, feel free to reach out. The price is on the street $1,280. Through NAIS and Concourse, you get a discount of $300, which brings it down to $980. If you'd like the coupon code, reach out to me and we'll get you set up. And with that, I'm
Cool.
done yelling at you.
Thank you so much for that. It's been great. I mean, I was kind of hesitant at first because, you know, it's always the cost thing. And like I said to you yesterday, I feel like I got a really expensive book. But on the other hand, like I've got so much more knowledge suddenly, and I've got that resource and access to the website and all the resources there as well. So it's been really good to go after that. So I wanted to just go through a couple of steps here, and then we can kind of have an open discussion, and hopefully we'll get some questions as well. But if you go to the website, that's where the content is on the new long-term care content for today. It just goes through what's next. So basically what's next, if you guys want to start offering long-term care to your clients, the first thing is just let us know, let me know, and we'll get you connected with the sales rep at North American that's going to be in charge of tracking that. We'll get you connected with Concourse, make sure you have the right phone numbers. I would imagine, Rachel, that we want them to talk to Phil first. If that's not the case, let me know. And then you want to look into your state regulations on long-term care. There may be some continuing ed that you need to do as far as that goes. And start talking to your clients about this stuff. It's really easy to start the conversation now that you've got a little bit of knowledge. You don't have to know everything. We're here, and Concourse is here to help you with quotes and how to approach clients on that sort of stuff.
If I can have one thing on the licensing, and Jake or Rachel, correct me if I'm wrong, Max, you probably well know this too. In your particular state, you're probably required to take a 4 or 8 hour course, separate course from your licensing. You have to take that before you write an app. There's a lot of things we can do after the app. You have to have that done before an app is sent in. So check with licensing, check with Concourse to let you know how it is in your state. But that's one thing you want to make sure you have done before you take an application, because otherwise you're going to be going back and doing it all over after you take the app. Again, there's no way around it.
Yeah, that's really good. I know that I've got to do mine again this year. I've got to do all my CE this year. And Kevin, that I was on the One America webinar this morning as well. So they've got webinars, Nationwide's got them. Everybody's got webinars that you can get on to find out more information. Oh, One America, not just plugging you guys, but theirs is every Friday. So I'm going to start listening on those as much as I can. And then the last thing I'm going to mention from this is the list from the website, is that there's a book, The Conversation by Harley Gordon. I wish that I'd read this when my the rep before Phil, she gave this book to me like 6 years ago, and I'm just starting to get through it now. I wish I would have done it.
And I'll throw this out because I was looking off to my right. I still have 5 copies of that book. If you call Concourse, and you talk to them this week about 3 separate illustrations, and they give me your name, I'll send you the book. I don't care what company they use. Doesn't have to be my company. Just call them up, talk to them about some cases, how they would design it, what it means to you, and I'll send you the book out. So you gotta be one of the first 5. I only got 5 left. So
Well, and Eric, if he's talking about being one of the first 5, just know Phil does cover Tennessee, and he does have a territory, but we have other people like Phil in other parts of the country. So what might need to happen, Eric, is if you have people reaching out to you, let Misty know, and we'll make sure that they get to the right person. Because it could be a different external. And then also Nationwide and One America is represented today. They have people that are in the field as well that can help us with point of sale. So we just want to make sure they know who their people are in their region.
Okay.
So if you're interested, you want to move forward, you want to get a book, you just let us know, and we'll get you to the right person.
Okay. Start with me, and then secondly, start with sales at North American Insurance, and then we'll get you to the right person. And the last thing I really wanted to say from the website from this morning is there's a link there, Max. I put the link to to the brochure for the CLTC masterclass is there, and it's got the link right to the website, and it's got the code that people would use if they wanted to move forward with
Great.
the discount. So, Todd, let me know if you have any questions from the audience. I can't see those. Okay.
Ready for them?
Yep.
All right. Can you put the coupon in the chat? That's number one.
I can. There's a link there. If they go to the website, they click on the additional resources to the right, there's the coupon is right there. There's a PDF and it's got the coupon there.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I don't think I could put it in the chat that they would be able to see it.
Okay. The second, what was the name of the website again?
It's the North American, okay, so it's NA. You want to share my screen? Can I share my screen?
Yeah. There you go.
There we go. Okay, so the URL here is the na-insurance.com/agent-library/long-term care with the dashes in there. And that's going to be it. If you go all the way to the bottom, because we did new content every day, so it's just layered. We're going to split that up probably next week, but it's layered, so so scroll all the way to the bottom, and that's where all the stuff is from today.
Okay, who do we call at Concourse is the next question.
Should I give him your cell number, Rachel?
Well, we do have a main 1-800 number that you can call and get the team. But depending on where the state that you live, it depends on who your external is. You have a specific external and a specific internal that works just with you. So if you'll reach out to Eric, he'll send that information to us and we'll get you to the right person. And we have a main 1-800 number you can call Monday through Friday and talk to somebody. So we'll get you both pieces of information after the call. Just follow up and we'll make sure you've got it.
Okay, the next question is, this is more of a statement. It says, let people know they do not need the CLTC to write, but you will learn a lot.
That's correct.
That's all.
That is correct. So I didn't talk a lot about the CE stuff because I've had that for so long that I kind of forgot what the process was. I just renew it every 2 years, but that's right. But the CLTC designation is different, but I learned so much in just a really short amount of time.
You do get 10 hours of CE when you get the designation for those that are interested when you pass the exam.
That's all the questions.
Okay, so do any of the panelists have anything they want to add from the week summary? Or
if I could touch,
yeah, I mean,
just talked about the process. Check with the individual companies that you, whether it's us or Nationwide or any of the other companies that Concourse writes, because not only do you need the the required training in your state to make it part of your license. Some states do require pre-appointment. Not all, there's only a couple, and it may differ by company, but you want to make sure if you're writing in that state or if you need a non-resident license in that state, that you do it before you take an application. But Concourse can help you with all that. It's nothing to get stressed out about. Just make sure that you check with them first when you're writing these applications to make sure the process makes it easier for you moving forward, that you don't hit any bumps in the road after you put the application in.
Yeah, Kevin, I'm glad you mentioned that. There is a Concourse packet. It's not very long that you'll need to complete as well. And so you'll fill out one packet and then we can get you contracted with multiple carriers through that packet. But we do need to make sure you've done your CE. So I would go ahead and knock that out. You know, if you use even something like a Success CE, you can usually get that done pretty quick, usually in a couple of hours online.
Is everybody able to hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah, perfect. The other component that I would really consider prior to obviously taking the application is pre-underwriting. I think this is very, very important. Obviously, the last thing anybody wants is a decline. And there's a lot of resources that you all have available through Concourse and through the carriers. We have materials on pre-qualification guides. And anytime there's any type of concern from an underwriting perspective, I would certainly utilize those resources just to make sure that there's no surprises after the fact. So that's one of the things that I always stress is kind of from a pre-underwriting perspective, kind of going through that process. So something to consider as well. And it goes back to what we've kind of talked throughout the week is the resources that you all have available. Utilize those resources, and something to think about as well.
And Jake, you make a good point there. And this is true of all companies. A few things unique to One America I'll talk about. But when you talk about the people we're talking to on a daily basis, you think, why would I need to use pre-underwriting to see where a case is? Well, two figures you should know, 68% of the population, according to the CDC, over age 65, takes 3 or more prescription drugs a day. 40% take 5 or more a day. So although the client may appear healthy, if they're taking metformin or taking anti-inflammatory and they're taking a cholesterol drug, they're probably all taking a cholesterol drug because they want everybody taking that right now. Doesn't mean they wouldn't get underwritten, but those may come into underwriting. The other thing the pre-underwriting inquiry does, it allows you to work with the carrier on what's the best case design. Because if they know up front there's these issues, they may be able to point you in a direction to go, you might want to do this, and it'd be a lot easier for you by asking the questions up front. And I'll give you an example unique to One America, because we have both an annuity and a life portfolio. You may get approved for the annuity because we don't pull medical records. But if you apply for the life insurance and get declined because you didn't ask us up front on what we thought, we can't automatically switch you to the annuity because we can't unknow information we do know now once we pull those medical records. And that's true for just about every carrier. You want to make sure you're in the right position from an underwriting standpoint. And the best way to do it, I would just wear out those pre-underwriting inquiries. If you got any clients, as I'm a diabetic, I have arthritis, I have high cholesterol, I'm right on the edge there with the height and weight chart, don't hesitate to make the phone call, work with Concourse. They can also work with the individual carriers, but put you in the best position to take an application that has the most likelihood to be underwritten when it receives that. It puts you in a much better light with the client too, that you did your work up front.
I remember doing one when I was just getting into it, and I thought I did a really good job with the pre stuff. Asked all the questions about the medication, asked all that stuff, and we went ahead with the application. It was all over the phone, and then it got to the question about height and weight, and the guy was about 300 pounds, just like way past the chart. And this was on a traditional, so there wasn't much leeway. So yeah, be careful with the questions and making sure that you know everything you need to know before you start applying.
And an example on long-term care too is, and I'm sure Jake can give other examples, they may tell you, hey, I'm getting steroid injections every other month in my back. Not necessarily an automatic decline, because we all have degenerative discs and it may be, but what are the follow-up questions you should be asking? So if you call Jake, you call myself, we might start asking, well, are they using an apparatus currently? Are they limping? Is this an ongoing problem? Do they have fusion in their back, which may cause longer term problems? So it's not always necessarily the initial thing they tell you. It's the complications that come along with it that they'll look a little bit deeper at. And by getting those questions answered up front, you know you're in the right place after you get the questions answered.
That's great. Todd, do we have any other questions today?
No, sir, that's it.
I think we can keep this pretty short. I want to encourage you guys to follow up. I didn't note this, that there's a new Facebook group. I sent out an invitation to everybody yesterday that's been on the calls this week, but there's a new Facebook group that we're setting up for long-term care discussion. So join that. I'll put new information there from now on, more so than in the North American Facebook area. So check that out. And send me any questions. My email address is just my name, Eric Jans, ERICJAN as in Nancy, as in Sam, at ericjans.com. Send me any questions you have, or if you want to get access to some of the files and stuff we've talked about this week. We're going to put the webinars up sometime soon. I'm not sure exactly where. Probably on the Facebook page for one place, and then on this long-term care area on the website. We'll have the webinars as well, so check those out, or if you missed any of them this week, or tell your friends. But I really appreciate everybody participating this week. It's been great. It was far above what we expected, and we're really excited about it. So let us know if you want to get involved, and I mean, that's all I have.
Hey, Eric.
Yeah.
I got one more question from Cindy. She wants to know about the carriers, about their marketing materials. Do they have the marketing materials for her?
There's a lot of stuff on this. I don't know if you guys have looked at all the different additional resources on this website, but there's a lot of stuff right there that we've added, and then we can get marketing materials for what. So what happens when I get a quote from Misty, they'll send me 5 or 6 different options, and then we'll kind of narrow down what we want, and then we'll get the materials from that carrier that we want to present. So it's kind of, they're all available. Concourse has everything available for you.
And all of the carriers, and Concourse can get this for you. We all have microsites. You can go right in, get the marketing materials. You can dig deeper. You can get the hold of the advanced planning people. So Eric's correct that the resources are out there, and every carrier has them. So depending on what you're looking for a carrier that'll build marketing programs, you just want to go out and grab product material, it's all available to you 24/7, 365. And the people from Concourse can just point you in the right direction based on a carrier on where those microsites are and how you can dig into them.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Appreciate you guys being here, and we'll see you.
Have a good one.
much.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody.